Hey everyone, sorry it took so long to make this video. It didn't help that, it was Thanksgiving week and everything like that. I've been stuck with my MacBook. Now I'm on the PC, so it's so much easier to move things around, you zoom in and out. So let's get started. So, new script. I tweaked it a little bit. I actually prefer this one a whole lot better. Again, obviously, every time I come out with a new one, it's probably for a reason. For anybody that hasn't got the script yet and has made a purchase of the script bundle before, you guys know, hey, anytime there's a new script, you guys will always get the free updates, always get the new improvements. So with this one, same concept. We wanted to get in when it's at the top of this channel, exit once it hits the middle line, and once it's at the bottom, we want to exit at the top. And I'll show you some examples here shortly. The goal is like for this percentage profitable, we want this to be at least above 60. And I know 60 doesn't sound as great, but there's some that can go up to 70 and stuff like that. But the minimum has to be 60, right? Traditional TA is 40, so we'll take 60. Another thing that matters is the average trade. This needs to be above 0.50 to be profitable, right? You can get, like right now, 0.24, it's not that great. But because this is 85%, it does kind of balance itself, evenly. That kind of makes up its ground. This indicator is on the 1 minute. And it works the best on 1 minute. You can do 5 minutes, 15, but the higher you go, the less it's going to work for you unless you like tweak the settings for it to work out. But then you have to wait longer and everything, right? It is the 1 minute, so it does take some time, to give you some trades here, in like 2 weeks it gave you only like 7 trades, but obviously the more coins you have to trade, the more opportunities you have. This usually only works on like the higher end coins, like for like the high volume ones, right? Like the bigger market cap. Like here we have Atoms at 71 at 0.66, so this is a really good, and you can kind of see the curve. It's like nice and profitable. Now Atlas is at 50%, but then again, Atlas doesn't really have like that big of a market cap. There's not a lot of trading up and down, right? Like if you do XRP, we're at 62 and 60, so it's not that bad. And like I mentioned here, we want to go where it hits the top to the bottom, Sometimes like, if there's a drop, we don't want to do some shorts because then those longs, because they'll get cut off. So these two here failed. This one was profitable, so we'll make it view like this. So this one, when it came back down, it told you to get in and then it told you to get out. Here it spiked up, and usually when there's a big spike like this, you don't want to trade, and we'll touch that in a little bit. And that's how you can prevent stuff like this. So I went up really fast, and see how much it's gone up, and then it always does that dead cat bounce where it comes back down. So there's some trades that this bot it will tell you to do, and you should already know, like, what, after a big drop, I don't want to do that. This trading setup is not meant for like the days the market is going crazy. If the market is going crazy, you leave it alone. Like HBAR has been doing crazy. You do not want to do any trades usually. This is more of when the market is just ranging, when we're going to do like sideways and the market is supposed to be boring. You take advantage of that boring. But here, there's two like losses here, but then you get in here, exit once it touches the blue line. And sometimes they'll touch the blue line and not say nothing. So I usually say, as soon as it touches the blue line, get out. Don't wait for this thing to tell you to get out. Here, told you to do a short, told you to get out here, although it's a little late. And technically, that's what we want to do. You see how right here it's ranging? That's what we want. We want the market to be just going sideways and everything to be ranging. We don't want like a crazy, crazy day where it dumped or a crazy day where it gets, where it pumps. We want to stay usually away from that stuff. Right, when the market goes crazy, you sit back, you relax. But then here you enter here, you exit here. And the premise is simple, right? Usually on like the higher end coins, Sui is actually not bad because it does have a lot of volume. But again, you have to be careful because lately it's been ranging, right? Because they already pumped a lot. It's just kind of been going sideways. But that's what we want, because here you done short, and then you exit here. You do a long here, exit here. You do another long here, you exit here. So I'll circle this to make it a little easier. You do a short here. I'm surprised it doesn't like tell you to exit here, and I don't know, I'm working on how to fix it, but usually like I'll tell you once it closes underneath it, but I want it to exit as soon as it touches. As soon as it's touching that, get out. Don't wait. Don't do nothing. Right. So we'll go back here. So again, exit here. You do a long here. You exit here. You do another long here. It would have stopped you out, but then it tells you to do another one and makes up for it. Then you do a short here and exit here. Now you do have the option that, like, see how there's a short here but not over here, and obviously it went up and coming back down. If you go into settings and you go to properties, if you do like the pyramiding, if you do 2, it'll actually add more, or you can do like 3, and it gives you more entries. So if you're someone that likes to do multiple entries, it'll actually let you like get in more. But to be honest, sometimes it can mess things up. Like here, you see there's a little bit red. So here we're 77, we're 80, we're 77, but it's profitable. So usually 1's okay, but every now and then, you know, I like to throw an extra 1 in there. Technically, you shouldn't. You should follow the rules strictly. Just like how I also added this too in inputs, where if you click exit at middle band, if you unclick this, sometimes on certain coins it can do better, sometimes it doesn't. Like here you would exit here. Oh, you enter a short here, exit here. Enter a long here, but it'll get stopped out, and then you enter a long, but then you do make a nice big trade, but then there's a short here. So, but you can see like overall that method's not very that successful, right? You're trying to play the longer game of like, and the reason I added this on here so you can see it, right? Because let's say you're trading and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till it touches the bottom band. Like, you know, you start to get greedy. You can see the big difference, right? You see the difference between when you're not greedy versus when you're greedy. And Stewie's, when it's raging, it actually does really good. Look, 77% success rate, 1.3. C has kind of like some okay, you know, volume, but all you can see here, like it was a trade and it's got stopped out, but then it made it up. But when you look at like CAS, Zeta, you see it starts to get kind of lower, and that's because like some of these coins like Vara, Vantry, although Vantry's actually been doing pretty good lately. And again, most coins do really good when they're raging, when they already like pumped and they're just like kind of settled, and that's what you want to do. Like, oh, this one already like did a crazy pump, all right. But you usually want to do coins where, you know, 1, they have a lot of volume, and 2 are not already pumped, or like they kind of like settle down. They're like pumping and stop, because you can see how beautiful this thing works. It's when they're like it's doing something crazy, then you're like, you know what? I'm not gonna touch it. Like the market is nice and boring, I'm not gonna touch it. Look at how like perfect that is. And again, we're not getting greedy. We're not waiting for it to touch the bottom band. We're just like, as soon as it comes up, enter, exit. Simple as that. And sometimes if it touches it and it doesn't give you the exit, trust me, when it touches that line, just exit. It's so much better. This wouldn't, some of these like losses on here could have been better if it got out, because sometimes like this bot will say, hey, oh, I thought it was ranging too much. Let's do like Doge. Sometimes they'll say like, oh, here's a bad trade. I'm trying to get an example of, let's say, okay, here, we'll just say like here, let's say this went like this, right? And you didn't get out here, and like it touched it, but it didn't tell you, and then it goes all the way back down, and then now you got stopped out. So there's some of those in here, so it makes the, you know, the numbers bad, but in reality it's like, oh, you should have gotten out and you would have done good. Like with Shiba here, obviously like it's gonna not be perfect, but keep in mind Shiba has been pumping the last few days. So if it's like a coin that you know like it's doing pretty crazy, you just let it be. Now if you follow this perfect, you can start getting some really good trades. Again, don't go for like coins that don't have a lot of volume, right? You do like Solana. So right now I went through like Jupiter and AIOZ. They didn't have good score, but now I'm in Solana. Guess who has great volume? Solana, right? So on here you got trade, it dumped down, so it was a stop. And then you get in again, and then your profit. You get in here, and then your profit. Now you can also like set the stop loss percentage. So I have it to where like if it drops at 1.5%, then to get out. You can do less, and you can kind of like minimize your damage. So here, your profit is 0.69. If you do like 1.5, you can see how it drops. So some of these coins, like you can do smaller stop losses, and you can see it move over here. So that way you don't take a big hit. So you can control like what you want your stop loss to be. I just did 1.5 because sometimes, you know, again, it doesn't stop out, and you get saved because it didn't go all the way down, and then it comes back up, and then you got a successful trade. And like I said, usually you want it to be at least 60%, and then 0.50 on the second one. So even like this, like IO, like I'm surprised it even did that well. So like Ample has some pretty good like, and I don't know if I would trade Ample because it's so like skittish, but I mean at the same time, you know, 80% success rate out of 20 trades, 0.60, so it's not bad. Octa again doesn't have too much. I'm surprised Link has done really bad. Look at all that, because again it's dropped a bit. Osmosis actually did pretty good, 0.70. Now, and here's another thing that's pretty cool too. The cool thing with this as well is I gave it the opportunity to like also do like trading direction, so like longs only or like shorts. So this is where like again it pays attention to listen to my like daily plays, right? Because if I'm telling you, hey, we're at the bottom of the channel and the indicators are crossing back up, what does that mean? That means we're gonna be bullish the next few days. If you like add that to your trading, then you know like, okay, cool, I'm only gonna do longs, and all of a sudden your profit went to 80 and then 0.90, right? Then you know like you're only gonna take some longs to make, you know, your trading a little bit better, and you don't have to worry about like, hey, let me do some bad shorts or something like that. HBAR will probably benefit a little bit from it, no, because that's ranging. So 62.59, not too bad. And then again, you can go to where like, hey, I only want to do shorts, right? And XRP obviously has dropped a bit from 270, so now you can see it 63, 61. But if you do both, both is actually the same. It's because the shorts are making up for like the long losses. So that's another way you can kind of like put everything together to see if it's more beneficial for you to be like, okay, well, we're only doing shorts, so like let's do shorts. So 83, 89 longs. Oh, Sui for longs have been doing pretty good. 66 and 1.47. So not bad. So I kept it very simple. Again, right? The only thing you really need to mess with is like stop loss or maybe which direction. You can see this if you want to try to gamble to get more, but maybe do like longs and then take this off. It's 50%, but then again, it's only 2 trades, so it's not a lot of trades, but then you get 2.2. So, you know, there's a lot of profit on there too. So the one trade you lost, you only lost 1.5, but the successful trade probably gave you a whole lot more. Let's go look at it, actually. Yeah, so, and the 2 trades are right here. So the second trade would have gave you 6%. So on one of them you lost 1.5, and then the other one you gained 6.2, right? So this is how like you can kind of like check everything out. And then when you do both, it kind of like it does really bad. Oh wait, exit. I was like, why did it do bad? I remember we had to click this on. But yeah, that's how the indicator works. If anybody has any questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. Remember, this works on the 1 minute. Is the best way to do it, and it's cool because like again, you get into a trade and you get out, you know, 30 minutes later. You don't have to like, once you're in a trade, you don't have to wait, you know, 18 hours for like the trade to finally close out. You know what I mean? Hope this was very educational. You know, understand how the system works. If not, reach out to me. Let me know. And if anybody doesn't have any indicators and wants to look into, you know, probably gets into trading and wants a simple indicator to tell you when to get in and get out, because, you know, when you don't have something telling you to get in and get out, you know, it's all after that, it really makes it really difficult, because then you have to have like good emotional control, because you gotta know when to get in, when to get out. As in this kind of like helps a little bit, because like, all right, get in, cool, let's get in. tells me to get out, you get out. You don't make your judgment anymore. You just go based off of this, right? As soon as it touches that blue line, I'm out. As soon as it touches the or as soon as it tells you like, hey, exit because it's a loss, get out. No, none of this like, let me wait a little longer just to see, right? Just follow what the script tells you.